Hello, team. It's time for the daily Detangler. Hello, hello. Detangling new environments. I got the same email you did, and I read through this. Ding, you've got mail, and went through it, did my thing. Thought I'd bring it into today's Detangler. I actually printed this out and had my wife read it. So she has no idea what I do, and she doesn't know what we're doing. I don't think she knew Catalyst is on vacation. So I just like, hey, read this. And what do you think about it? She had no idea what it was. It took her 20 minutes or so. She asked a ton of questions, and she doesn't get it, right? So why did I do that? Well, I was trying to get some empathy for the situations that we're in and the context that we have and the flow that we get into, and just get an outsider's perspective of that. So she didn't understand the language, she did not understand the context, she did not understand the impact of go to market, go to customer. She doesn't really understand the actions, what's being asked, what to focus on, and she got all tangled up. And it was pretty bad. It was interesting. By bad, I mean she's like, "So this is what you do? This is what Scott wants you to do? Are you getting paid for this?" It was funny. So I was like, okay, let's go over to the point of this, which is, look, I'm trying to see what the difference is between having empathy for what we're doing and then just showing up in a different environment. And that gap was massive, and she really struggled to understand what the impact was and why we're doing it. So one light bulb, three insights. Now what? So ding ding. What are some of my tangles in my past life? And that helped my having my wife read the email was bringing back a lot of tangles of what I felt a long time ago with how I would process Catalyst emails. So, first I said, I would say in the old days, and what my wife said is, I don't even know what this means. This thing doesn't even make any sense. Um, what I would do in my past life too is, this is too much information. I'm going to get all emotional because I don't understand. This is making me feel stupid. I'm just going to skim it. I can't read word for word because I don't know what these words mean. I need more information. I need more context. I need more clarity, right? I need to know what the impact of it is, etc. So that would be one past self, response. Another one is, I don't have time to do all this. I've got to process this email. My calendar's full. I wasn't expecting to get a little bit of a story about vacation. I got other stuff to do. My personal life is blah, blah, blah. I've got clients, blah, blah, blah. I did all this work. So what am I supposed to do with this? I don't have time to figure this out. That would be another response in my old self. Then another one is, okay, I'm going to do all this and I'm going to take these actions and I'm going to really internalize it, and this is another internalization. We've internalized everything from trucks getting stuck in the mud to, stone soup to heroes journeys and story builders, and just all kinds of analogs and analogies. And here's yet another one. We're going to use this story of a beach and immersing. I'm not going to get, this is going to be a waste of time. Is how I would think about it in the old days. I'm going to put the time in for what's in it for me. How do I get credit for this? Am I going to get credit for this for doing the work? I'm not going to get a response anyway. I got to navigate this whole maze of trying to figure out what the hell this is and put all this effort in for what? And then when I do all that and I put something out, I'm not going to do it right anyway. I mean, whatever expectations Catalyst has, I'm not going to meet them. Clearly, he's thought about this his entire vacation. Why was he doing that anyway? Why doesn't he take time for himself? I'm not going to get it right anyway. I mean, he's advancing the ball on vacation for crying out loud. Other people are going to be, they're way more involved. They have way more information. They're way more closer to it. Whatever they put out is going to be way better than whatever I put out because I'm not as close to it. I'm not going to produce anything good anyway. My stuff is crap. I have no idea what he's looking for. I don't know if it's good. My pictures don't make any sense. I don't think my fonts are right. Blah, blah, blah. And last time I did this, I got eviscerated or I got a lot of feedback. I actually got more work to do. I got all these things that came at me last time I tried something. So why create more work for myself? I'm not going to get this right anyway. That's another response that I could have in the past. And then, why does he do these emails? I don't do those emails this way. I mean, why stories? Why action points? He's highlighting. Why does he structure his emails like that? Nobody else structures their emails like these. These are highly unusual. Why doesn't he call a meeting? And I could have told you it was going to be 3 insights. I mean, everything's 3, 5, or 7. So at least I should be thankful it's not 5 or 7 insights to give me 7 things to do. I only have 3 things to do. And at least he got to go on vacation and, it's like talking about diving and why diving, and there's not a video with this. I thought we're supposed to be using videos, and let me just judge this whole thing and explain, rationalize it as that's not what I would do. So he's not doing what I would do. So I'm just going to discount it. So those are past responses. And when I put on my hero suit, I just want to, punch those in the face. Those are also, the tangles. These are the same. This is tangle language. And, by having my wife review the message, she got all tangled. She used a lot of these statements. This is a waste of my time. Why are you having me do it? I don't have time for this. I got to get the kids ready for school. I have no idea what the hell's in this email. I'm not going to get it right. What are you looking for? Are you looking for me to give you feedback on sentence structure? His spelling is terrible. Is he dyslexic? Like, what is going on? I don't know. Why does he send you emails like this? This is so much info. I mean, so she got all tangled, which helped me with what I just did, which are all the tangles. So that's my past self talking. And the interesting thing about this is, no, okay, great. Not a lot of people communicate like Catalyst does. But why do transformations fail? Largely because communication sucks. So here's an email that came in and it's hitting a lot of our, encode, transmit, decode. And it's hitting a lot of our scientific methods. And there's clearly a purpose for it. And these little journeys we go on, each journey that I've been on, whether it's stone soup, hang gliding, stuck in the mud truck, just a hero journey, story builder, this whole detangler journey, these little journeys, these little quests have been helpful. So, in our communication methods, let me process this now. Let me go to my current self, get rid of my past self with those tangles and that I've just published. And now let me, get centered. So first of all, I have to check into the innovation game, right? This is the innovation game. This is not the operate game. So I have to tell myself that I have a synthesis digest, a centering ritual, if you will, that gets me, and I visualize myself checking into this game and high-fiving the players on. I get checked into the innovation game so that I can leave the operation game behind. That really works for me. And I do that a lot. And it's getting more and more fun to do. And so I'm not stuck in the middle. That's a whole detangler series of the stuck in the middle. And then I think about my role, putting on my superhero suit, right? I'm detangler. I'm not messenger guy. I'm not trying to create the Mimecast message. I'm detangler. So how do I help, how do I process this email and detangle myself from the email? And then what's the situation that we're in, forgetting about its personal like vacation time, but where are we at with Mimecast and what's really happening around us? And look at what he's putting out in this email and what is that situation and why, and then what's encoded. And this is the thing that I think we could do, myself could do better at calling out what's encoded from these messages. I think Catalyst puts a lot of structure into encoding that other people reject because they don't have some, they've never seen encoding as good as what Catalyst would do. So I think his encoding is phenomenal on what he encodes and how he does it. And it's so easy to just discount as, oh, that's too long, that's too complicated, I don't understand this, the spelling's bad, blah blah blah. Why is it 7 pages long if I print it, whatever. It's easy to discount those mechanical things, but if I process what's really encoded here, how would I then decode what he's encoded for my role? And then what actions can I take to put myself out there? So this is a detangler. I'm halfway through in my time frame I try to give myself. So I'm not going to do all those actions that he asked for in the actual swimming analog. The purpose of this detangler is to say, when I was on the beach, what did it look like? And I gave you the 5 tangles, and I tried to make that real and visual and emotive for past self. This is the checklist I run for getting into the game on the innovation side, and to now embrace this information in a way that is hopefully detangled and in the context of our team. So how would I process this email? And maybe that's a way to publish how I detangled myself. So first, what is the light bulb? The big aha. So he has big ahas all the time. He's like a walking big aha. So the weekly aha, so that's a signal, right? So I one of the things I've learned is he signals very consistently. So when he says big aha or light bulb, that's something, that's a signal that I need to pay attention to. The big signal here, the big flare, the big in a fireworks show, the big, chrysanthemum of the firework is we're trying to be comfortable talking about go to customer from the go to market sidelines. We started to use the principles more. We've embraced different tools, but we got to put on the mask, the flippers, the tube, the bathing suit. We got to get under the water. It's going to be salty under there. We're going to be in a different environment. We have to maybe learn how to swim. We have to learn how to float. We have to learn how to stay safe. There's a lot to figure out when we immerse ourselves in the new environment. So detangling this environment is, what is the nature of this light bulb, and do I see and embrace the uniqueness of these environments, the beach environment of go to customer and the underwater environment of beach environment of go to market, and the underwater environment of go to customer. And this is one of the things that popped into my head is, from the sidelines on the beach, I think I'm assuming that people want the answer, that they want a better path forward, that they want a different way, that they know something's wrong and they're looking for a solution. And that's not the case with go to customer. This is the bit of the paradox of the transition state between us totally on the beach and then walking in the shallow ocean until we finally put our head underwater. That transition period of walking into the water, people don't really want a full solution. They're looking for tactics, they're looking for quick things to implement, but they're not really looking for a solution that would tackle the main challenge. And when you think about this globally or across an organization, or just the volume of people involved in something like Mimecast, they're certainly not unified on whatever the solution could be. So, I'm assuming, and I was assuming perhaps too much, that they're even looking. Then they're not. This is why we have to co-create demand. And this is idea here of, hey, we've got the answer, we got the solution, we got to go to customer, we've got an approach, you should do it. And everybody go, okay, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's totally do that. We've been looking for a solution to this, and the way you guys are bringing it up, that absolutely we should engage in that approach, and let's do it, we're all in. That's not what happens, right? So am I embracing that enough? in that state, that transitory state, because it ain't what people know for sure that gets them into trouble. It ain't what people know that gets them into trouble. It's what they know for sure. And in my past life, it's, the maxim is, I know, therefore I am. I know these things, therefore I am. And the more I know, the more I am. And the more I know that I can share, the smarter I look to everybody else. I know these things, therefore I am. Whereas, now it's I see, and I can see what's under the water, therefore I am. And when I see these things under the water, I can explain them, is a second piece of this. Before I wasn't even looking. Now paying more attention, I'm trying to see more, and I'm seeing more what that is. And that's the source of power, influence, control, whatever the word is that people are looking for these days. Making a mark, getting ahead in their career, making an impact, driving outcomes, achieving results because they see. So it's moving from I know, therefore I am, and moving to I see, therefore I am. And I see the convergence of ecosystems, and I can see the convergence of markets and capabilities and people and decisions and information and technology and process. And that's where things are headed. So in that email, he said, there's 3 insights from this light bulb, this aha. Number 1 is turn what we learned by doing into concrete outputs. So these people here, they're doing, go to market. They're doing go to market. They're so far on the shore that they're in a city. They're not even on the beach. They're further inland in a city talking about the beach. And when they go to the beach, they've got their business suits on. And then, here we come and we've got our scuba gear on and we're plopping right down in the middle of the crosswalk. That whole thing is completely different. And we're walking around in this environment explaining there's a different way and that they should move to the ocean. They should get under the water and see it differently. So that's what do they need to see when they're on shore? That's a different ballgame. The second insight he shared in the email was connecting the dots between stone soup and the process. Stone soup is great, but it's highly inconvenient. It's highly inconvenient for somebody like me who's used to working in silos. Man, I gotta reach out to people. I gotta follow up with them. I have to hold up my rock. I have to encode my rock. I have to get all excited about my rock and get other people excited about my rock, and then share what my rock is and structure all that up. And then what if nobody responds? And then somebody else is going to show up with their rock. And then, I have to I want to get excited about their rock, right? So like that can feel daunting, but that's the wrong, that's a perspective that's in my old, my old self. How do I recognize that this stone soup is the way we collaborate? This stone soup is the way we create something from nothing. And don't I want to do that? I mean, that's what we would get paid to do, is to create and innovate that way. So this process, this method of creating stone soup together, how do I embrace it and lean into it more? And move away from this negative view of it's hard, and just lean into, yeah, it's hard and people don't know how to work together. I don't know how to work together. So how do I lean into that? Then the third insight he said is connect the dots between the hero's journey, the story builder, and the 5 sales objectives. And the image that popped into my head was all these people like lemmings going, well, we know our target market and we certify on our products and we rolled out command of the message training, so we're good. And then on our side, on the right side, we're countering with what's the hero's journey? Who's the hero what's the purpose of your sales team and how they guide that. And then the story builder, how do you equip your guide with these story builder elements and help them align it to the sales objectives. That's a different path. And there's so much of a magnet on the left side, and there's so much of a beaten path on the left side, and everybody's just doing what everybody else is doing because it's fast and comfortable. How do we help them take the step? How do we de-risk the right side and make it more concrete? So these are tangles that pop up, and I've shared some, throughout, even as I'm processing the email. There's some tangles that I have around just the idea of embracing stone soup and the collaboration of it, and how do I help make that work? I want to make that work, but what do I do? So how do I pull the thread? So for some reason, I built a flow chart and I said, okay, well, how do I help myself get detangled? Well, first of all, did I read the email fully? No. Well, am I am I committed to engaging? Yes. Okay, go read it fully. If not, I need to tell Catalyst I'm not going to do this. So I'm going to read it fully. So I made myself read it fully. Does the email make sense? Yes. Do the actions that Catalyst provided make sense? Yes. Is taking action a waste of my time? Oops, that should be no. So I built this fast, so it's not a waste of my time. Will I make the time to take action? Yes. Can I put something out incomplete? Yeah, I can do a detangler on it. Do I expect others to contribute on their own and do their own thing? Yes. Am I tangled? Yes or no? So when I ran this checklist on myself, this little flow chart, does the email make sense? Yeah. Do the actions make sense? Yeah. Is taking action a waste of time? No, it's not. It's not a waste of time. I just need to reword this. Am I gonna make the time to take action? Yes, I will. Can I put something out incomplete and do the best I can? Yes, I can do that. Do I expect others to contribute on their own and do their thing? Yeah. I don't have an expectation of anybody else doing that. Am I tangled? No. So make something and send it. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make something and send it. I have this here if you're still tangled after these, to reach out to Detangler, because there might be another knot, or there might be a way to explain these tangles here. But if I'm tangled along the way, who am I reaching out to? Right. And to help with that, the tangle checklist that I've been using. And what do you think of these tangles? Right, they're pretty cool. So thanks, Conceptor, for the tangle family. Meet the tangles. These are things that I could do to detangle myself. So that's how I process the email. That's how I'm getting in the zone of talking past self, current self. Also taking an inventory of, am I tangled or not? I'm going to run this flow chart myself. I'm not tangled, so I'm going to make something and send it. I just have to make sure I have the time because I built this first. And that's connecting the dots, right? Connecting the dots, leading with me, what my past self was, and leaning into that. And then embracing the idea that there's a process here. So this beach thing, I'm really digging it as an analog for helping us get into the environment underneath the water and getting immersed in that. So I really like that concept. All right, so hopefully this is helpful. Thanks for your time and look forward to your feedback. Take care.